Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to connect Atlas.ti to Claude AI so that you'll be able to make sense of your data. So what is going to happen is that you can easily communicate with Claude and the Claude will be able to access all your files and other information in your Atlas.ti project. And then you'll be able to make sense of your data. So as you can see here, I was able to do the connections and Claude was able to help me to categorize my code to develop themes and also create a code book. As you can see here, I have my code book. So I'm going to show you how to do that connection. So what had happened is that there is a term here, a connector called MCP. What is MCP? It stands for Model Context Protocol. See it as a bridge that connects AI tool, which is the Claude AI, to your project in Atlas.ti so that you can use AI to help you to analyze your data or do some queries. So let me show you how MCP works. Let's say you connect tools like calendar, your email system, resources like files, and also Atlas.ti project to Claude so that you'll be able to have communications. If your calendar is connected to Claude, you can ask Claude a question about your calendar and information will send through MCP, communicate it with your calendar, and then you receive that information. So see this information here as context. Without this calendar connected to Claude through MCP, when you ask about what meetings do I have today, Claude might not be able to answer that question, but because you have connected your calendar to Claude, you'll be able to get a very good response. The same thing as file. You can connect your file through MCP and then ask the system questions, and the system will be able to access your file and provide you an answer. The same thing as your email, you can do that. So now, if you have access to Atlas.ti, the current version, which is Atlas 26.1, you can use Claude to communicate with your files and your quotation codes in Claude, and you'll be able to get some answers, right? So this is how I'm going to show you another brief information here just to help you to understand it better. You have Atlas.ti project. So in your project, you have documents, you have codes, you have memos, you have quotations, and also relationship between concepts. Everything is here, right? So with MCP, you are able to connect this project to Claude so that when you ask the system about, okay, can you code my data for me or can you extract information that is significant, Claude will access your project through MCP so that it can provide you an answer that meets your expectations, right? So that's how this is done. Why do you need this one? I think it's a secured way of you using AI to help you to make sense of your data, right? So the AI will just securely communicate with Atlas.ti through MCP so that you can be able to get information from there. So it make the data analysis faster. Not only faster, it also help you to use AI as a collaborator. So you can still analyze your data using Atlas.ti, but you can also get ideas and also support from AI so that you'll be able to adequately make sense of your data and also get the findings that will help you to address your research question that you have. So let's go to Atlas.ti, and I'm going to show you how I was able to connect my Atlas.ti to Claude. So first of all, you have to have the current version of Atlas.ti. If you open Atlas.ti and you go to options, you click on options, and then you click here, Atlas.ti, you see this place, check for updates, right? So the current one you see here, check for update. You can click here and make sure that your Atlas.ti is up to date. So if it's 16.1, then it's a current one. So After that, what you have to do is to open your project. So I have my project here. I have 5 documents or 5 transcripts. I've done my coding based on my research question. I have the codes here. And I don't have any memos. I haven't categorized them to develop themes yet. So I don't have anything here. So the next step is to go to Files here. You go to File, and then you click on Options, and then make sure that you click on Atlas.ti. When you scroll up, this is what you're going to see. Make sure that you check Enable MCP Server. And then you see here, Add to Claude Desktop, right? You click on that, and then you look for a place to save the file, right? But before you save the file, you create a folder. Based on what you see here, you can easily create a folder. I've already created my folder, right? If you want to create a folder, you go to New Folder, right? And then you type MCP Atlas.ti, right? So I've created my folder here, and make sure that you know where you created a folder. I think it's created under local disk. I go to users. I go to info. Yours will be very different, maybe a different thing. But the most important thing is that make sure that you know where you save this folder, because that's going to be useful when we go to Claude AI. So I double click on that and then click on select folder and then click on OK. So this means that the folder has been saved, right? Now we can go back. You have a project here. Make sure that your project is open. Don't close your project. And then we go to Claude AI. Make sure that you have downloaded Claude Desktop, right? If you want to get Claude Desktop, you can even go to Google for Claude Desktop. Make sure that it's from Claude. Look at the address here, claude.com, and then you'll be able to download the desktop. I've already downloaded mine. This is how Claude AI looks like on your desktop. So after downloading Claude Desktop, you go here, this corner, click here and go to File, and you go to Settings and go to Extension, and then click on Advanced Settings. This is what you're going to see when you click on Advanced Settings. Then click on Install Extension. Then you look for where you save that information, right? I remember I save it local drive, users, and info, and document, and then, yeah, this is it, MPC Atlas. So you just have to know where you save it so that you can look for it and you can upload it. So you click on preview, and then you click on install, click here, install here. This shows that it has been installed. You can go to configure, click on configure and close here so that you see the detailed information. So here gives you information about all the tools and resources or files that Claude will be accessing when you ask Claude questions. So you see here it says read only tools. So this means that the system is not going to manipulate any information in your project, right? It's just going to access those information so that it will provide you adequate information that is more context related. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want a system to code your data for you through MCP. The system will access your transcript, right? And then it will generate codes based on the information that's identified, right? So it's read only means that it's not going to go here and then make any changes like create codes here for you. It's going to only access information here in a secured manner and provide you response based on the question that you ask. You can access your memos, your quotations, you can access your documents, you can access your files or the folders, right? So these are the things that it can access. This one to you have an option here. You can also click here to block access to any information that you don't want AI to access. So you have a little bit of control here in terms of access. Some of the things too, the system will ask for you to approve before it will access. And I think that's also a very good thing. You have control on what you want the system to access. Now that we are done, we can go back. So click here and go back to the main page. So we have a project here, and I've gone through the data, identify information that are significant, and develop my code. I want the system to help me to develop themes, right? So let me show you what I can do, right? And also always make sure that the project is open before you ask Claude AI any question, right? You have to ask Claude to connect to your project, right? So you can say, can you use Atlas.ti MCP to explore the code I have developed? So when you're starting the conversation, always mention this one. Can you use Atlas MCP? If you don't do that, the system will not be able to do the connection, right? You are trying to trigger the system to connect it to Atlasia so that it can access the files that you want it to access. So I click enter and let's see what will happen. So this one, you want the system just to explore the codes that you have developed. So it has explored and given you some information. We can do a little comparison and see what the system is saying is true about the number of codes and the kinds of codes that I have. So you see here, for research question one, I have 14 quotations. 14 is here, and I have all these codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think all of the codes are here. It means that the system has access to the project. That's a very good news. And then for the second research question, it also have all these codes here. And it's also giving it like overview about what it thinks about the codes. You can read about that if you want to. The next thing that we want the system to do is to categorize the codes for research question one and develop themes for us. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use. So can you categorize codes for the research question one or for RQ1 to develop themes? Let's see what the system will do. And then if you want to work on another project, then you have to open the project before you interact with the system. So let's say you finish with this project and then you can go and open another project. You go to File and then you click on Open and then open the project that you want. And then you can have interaction with the system. So you see how the system can help you to make sense of your data. It can help you to do the coding. But as I said, it will not change anything in what you have here. What it will do is that it will give you the results here. And based on that, you can review and then you can make changes to the project if you want to, right? So as you can see that it's found some tools. It also have a list of quotations and then it's reviewing them to help us. So the good thing is that it's not only looking at the codes here, it's looking at the quotations that are connected to these codes, right? So that to be able to appropriately categorize them. So it has done the categorization for us. It has the option one and option two. You just have to choose what you think is appropriate. This is the time for you to review. If you want more, if you want answers to some of these things, or if you have any questions, you can ask the system and it will be able to provide that for you. It looks like it has given me two options. So the first option is it was able to group them into three main themes. And the second option, it was able to group them into two main themes. So I may choose the first one, or I can go ahead and ask, can you develop up to 5 themes? You can give more information about what kind of theme that you want. You can even say that a theme should be in between 2 to 5 words, addressing the research question that you have, right? The more information that you give concerning the context, the better. But the good thing is that the system has access to the whole project, so it knows what the project is all about. It knows all the quotations, so it will be able to provide you very good information to work on. You can even ask the system to write a report for you, right, based on the findings, or you can ask the system to be like a second coder to code, and then you can even compare the codes. Yes, so you can do a lot of things here as it assesses your information. So it looks like it has generated 4 themes for me. So these are the themes and also the codes that are connected to each of the themes. So what you can do here is that if you agree with the themes, you can easily go to Atlas.ti and start grouping your codes into themes, right? So you can go here, code groups, double click on it, and you come to this side where you have it open code group manager. You click on new group. Before you click on new group, you have to copy the theme here, right? And then it looks like this theme is too long. I can say that, can you make sure each theme is between 2 to 5 words. Okay, so the system has been able to reduce the number of words for each of the themes. So now that we have it, what we can do is, if you agree with the themes, you can just copy the theme here and go to Atlas.ti, double click on code group, and then this is what you're going to see to open code group manager. You click on new here, go to new group, and then in parentheses, you can type theme, right? And then bring that the name of the theme here. You click on create, and then you click on that, and when you do that, what will happen is that you have a list of all the codes on the right side. Let me make it bigger here. You see all the codes for research question 1 and 2. We are focused on research question 1. So what you're going to do is that you look for the codes that are connected to this one. So the code that is connected to the first one, let me go up here, is having long hours and taking care of multiple patients. So I look for having long hours, double click on it to come to the left side to be under this theme, taking care of multiple patients here. So that's what you're gonna do. You create all the themes, right, which is the creating of groups, right, code group, and then you connect or bring all the code, respective code under each of the theme, right? So we have numerous clinical and administrative tasks and hectic schedule. Okay, so let me look for that. So I think I have one here that I can bring. So that's what you're gonna do. Imagine that I finish this one, I go to the next one. The name for the next one is vulnerability of inexperience. I copy that and I go here, new group, and then in parentheses I type theme and then bring my theme here, click on create, click on it, and there's going to be empty space where you can bring all the codes that are connected to this one here, right? So at the end of the day, you end up developing your themes as you are using Claude AI to help you to make sense of your data. So you see how you can collaborate with Claude AI to help you to develop themes and also do other analysis that you want to do. You can ask the system to explore all the themes and see whether there's a connection between them, and also review all the codes and see whether it can also identify some new patterns that can be explored later. So you can do many things using Claude as you are working on your project. So you don't have to go through the process of reconnecting Claude to Atlas.ti all the time. You have already done that. So whenever you open the project, right, I go to File, Open, and I click on Open, and then maybe I want to open this new project. You can still Now Claude will be able to access the information about the new project, right? And make sure that you close the old project so that it will not confuse the system. So I have my new project here, and I can also go ahead and ask the system questions, right? I can ask, can you generate a code book? And the system will look at this document that I have here or this project and then generate a code book for me, right? As you are waiting, I can also, so let's say you change your mind, you don't want the system to connect. You don't want to connect your projects to Claude AI. You can always go to File, Options, and then you uncheck here, right? You uncheck Enable MCP. If you do that, the system will not be able to access your project. So as we can see here, sometimes it will ask you to give Claude a chance to access the project. So I will click Allow, and then the system will be able to access. So it's still the system, because we were working on the first project, I think the system is still on the first project, right? So if you want to work on the second project, you have to prompt it that it should focus on the second project that you have opened, right? So it looks like it's creating the code book based on the first project. And what you can do is that if you want to start a new project, you can start a new conversation, right? You can always go to new and start a new conversation. But when you are starting a new conversation, make sure that you ask Claude to connect to Atlas so that it will be able to have access to your project. So based on the findings, you can even ask Claude to extract some finding that can be useful for you to write a report. The system will be able to do that. It can also create tables for you and any kind of illustration that will help you to communicate your findings, right? I'm not sure of word cloud, but it can create like a pie chart or bar chart in terms of the number of codes that are connected to a specific theme. It looks like the code book is ready. Let's see what we got. So it gives you information about the researcher too, and also the title of your project, and it gives the date, the two research questions that I have, and also how to read the code book. And we have all the code, the definition of the code, and when do you have to apply to this code, an example of a quotation, right? You have everything here, right? And if you are okay with what you have here, you can click on copy and then you can paste it on a Word document. Or if you want the system to generate a Word document format, you can tell the system and it will be able to do that. You can also download it as PDF, right? You see here, you can print it out as PDF. So I hope this one was helpful. Try to explore and see what you're going to get, and then share your experience in the comment section. If you want one-on-one consultation about how to use this software or how to combine Claude with Atlas.ti, you can always contact me. I have my contact information in the description. And also, if you want to book an appointment, I have a link there to book an appointment with me so that I can help you to do your qualitative research. Thank you so much for your time, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.